Hi, I'm Dennis Buttimer. Welcome back to Tools and Tactics to Tame Your ADHD Brain. Okay, this week I'm going to talk to you about overcommitting. Have you had this where like your calendar's packed, your mind is spinning, and you find yourself saying yes to people and projects, and you're like, I don't know how I'm going to do all this. Right, you're overcommitted, and that's exactly what I want to talk to you about. If you have ADHD, it's very, very common for a lot of reasons. More important than the reasons is some solutions. So I'm going to give you 3 tools that I do think will really help you. So these sticky notes really are like little superpowers. And so I'll tell you, hopefully I'll be able to tell you how that is. Okay, so the first tip is pause before yes, right? So you can actually have this on sticky notes if you want. Pause before saying yes. Look, if you have ADHD, the brain it loves novelty. So it'll say yes, the new shiny object, or that thing over there looks cooler, so you'll jump over there. It's just part of it. But you have to pause. And look, if people ask you, about would you do this, and you kind of really want to because it seems exciting, just do this magic phrase, and that is, sounds great. Let me check my schedule and get back to you. And you may decide that you want to do it, or you may decide that it's just going to be too much at this point. Secondly, you're going to see it before you say it. See it before you say it. You could actually write it on here if you like. Okay, and that's meaning that the mind has to see it visually. By and large, ADHDers are visual thinkers, right? So it means like if you hear a bunch of things, usually from an auditory standpoint, it can get all jumbled up in there. So you want to be able to put it in color-coded ways so that you can see it throughout your week, what everything is about. So you're basically going to color code your week, and you want to be able to see it before you say it. Because you ever do this, like you say, yeah, I'll do it, and then you're like, what was I supposed to do? Or how am I supposed to do that? And then these other 40 things that I contracted for or said I would do. All right, so go ahead and do that. That's going to be a big one too. And three is going to be the big 3 only. The big 3 only. What am I talking about with that? Well, the big 3 only is like one color is going to be professional. A second color is going to be personal, and the third category is going to be well-being. Okay, so you're going to have different colors. You can just do one. You can do one of each a day. Okay, and when you get a request, or sometimes it seems like demands from others, you're going to look at those categories. And you're going to ask yourself, does this fit into what I'm doing right now? Does this fit into one of these categories, or it would be like a nice to have or nice to be able to say yes to eventually? If it doesn't fit in there, don't say yes. Just say to yourself, maybe later. Let me just go park it over here. You can go jot it down in like a book that you keep of ideas or ongoing, to-do lists, which we know never actually ends. But those big 3 is going to help, So again, you have the professional, you have the personal, you have the well-being, and those are priorities now. Elucidate what those things are for you in any given day or any given week, right? So really important stuff here. Give these things a shot. Let me know how this works for you. Put in the comments what you think. And if there's also suggestions, I've had people reach out to me recently via email, dennis@buttimerconsulting.com, with ideas. You can do it that way. You can put it in the comments. Go ahead and hit like, subscribe if you wish, and reach out to me. One of the things I offer is a 15-minute free consultation for you or a loved one. And see if I can give you some suggestions, maybe come up with a little bit of plan for you. I'd be delighted to help you. And so see if you can do something now this week with this habit of overcommitting. Use the tools I just talked about, play this back, and reach out if I can clarify any of it. I'm wishing you the best, and as always, I'm believing in you. Take care.